what's poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another game review. We have had film review, series review, and anime review on the channel, having a big update recently, and I thought with those three, might as well throw in gaming there as well. And this game review is a little different. It is on LEGO Worlds, which is a pretty old LEGO video game and pretty revolutionary for the time. It was basically LEGO's Minecraft, LEGO's own sandbox game. But again, this video is going to be a more in-depth look at the game, unlike my older film series anime reviews where I just did a quick gloss over of them. I'm going to go really in-depth into the details of why I dislike or like this game. So let's get into it. LEGO Worlds, again, had a pretty basic storyline. You was a space traveler going to different LEGO worlds, LEGO planets in this solar system. And as you went on, you unlocked new friends, new worlds, new pieces, parts to build your world. And you had this gun which was multi-purpose. It could paint bricks, it could copy bricks and place them in places. You could copy whole builds and place them. Basically, this gun was Minecraft's command block. You could do whatever the frick you wanted, whatever the fuck you wanted with this gun. And yeah, you could ride animals. There was many side quests and characters and NPCs you could talk to get quests, to unlock new things, and to unlock money to buy things as well. Each planet you went on, you sort of got a new upgrade for your rocket ship until you sort of fulfilled it, and then you could just sort of travel the LEGO multiverse. There was a load of DLC packs for this game, for a Halloween island, an Easter island, a Christmas island, a other themed islands, like an underwater one, and stuff like that. And the main poster for this is really cool, and it did have a gift with purchase, which was a mini build of the rocket ship that you sort of ride in. But that was about it. That was the whole game, the whole premise of the game. And I do remember getting this for my birthday, and I did play it with one of my friends at the house when it finally installed on my Xbox. Because that's what you have to do with games now. You have to install them, and you don't just, put them in play. So after waiting an hour to install this thing, because by far this is the biggest LEGO game yet with all the stuff you can do with it, I was pretty excited. I was like, damn, this is the new Minecraft. But then, as I got into it, the controls were really crappy. It was hard to place some objects. It was very sensitive with, placing stuff and having to aim very carefully on what you wanted to select, copy and paste, or even, investigate and get into your inventory. And it was very repetitive. The game got repetitive very quickly. So me and my friend just started fucking about and killing each other. That was literally it. It went from actually trying to do the story to getting bored very quickly and just fucking about and killing people. Again, for those people who were story-driven, this is not the game for you. It is basically just Minecraft in LEGO. It did have a lot of new cool characters, and you could customize your characters with the other characters you met across the lands. And I had a theme. I wanted my character to be this half werewolf, half bat creature, because the bat character and the werewolf character were my two favorites from all of LEGO figure history until the Ninjago DLC came out, which I didn't get because I wasn't interested in the game enough to justify buying it. I didn't really want to spend money on DLCs for a game that I didn't really play. I've sold the game now. I really didn't think it was that good. And yeah, it had cool characters. The graphics seemed a lot worse than other LEGO video games. This is a really cool shot here of the game, but it didn't look that good when you were playing it. It really didn't. This picture does it more justice than the actual game was. I did build a giant T. That was one of the first few things I built. You went around, you found treasure chests, you fought enemies. There was a couple of enemies that sort of spawned around. Some of the animals attacked you as well. But again, it got quite boring and repetitive very quickly. The graphics were bad, the gameplay was bad, and it went back to the old style LEGO video games. We've had people talking LEGO video games for a while now. That has been the new status quo for video games. But this one, for whatever reason, went back to the LEGO characters going, huh? Whoa. So it just felt like a really old Lego game. Like it felt, it gave it the nostalgia factor, but it also felt a little off after having like the Lego Batman 2 and 3 with them talking, Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 where they were talking, Lego Marvel Superheroes 1 where they were talking, I do believe, as well. So after all this time of having Lego games with people actually talking, communicating, it did feel very off to go back on that, to go back to the mumbling and the groaning and the moaning and whatever else you want to call it. And it was a very simple game, very simple premise, but everyone was saying it was going to be the Minecraft killer. It's Lego's Minecraft. It's going to be Minecraft's next big competitor, which it sort of had the same sort of rise and fall that any, like the Nickelodeon Brawl game had, where everyone was going to say it was a Smash killer. It was going to take down Smash, which then gave it more hype, and when the game didn't fulfill the hype, it crashed and burned pretty quickly. So it's people's perception of the game and people overhyping the game that also can kill it, because then it doesn't live up to the hype that people made and surrounded it with. It was also a very basic sort of limiting game. Like, you had to go and travel to unlock stuff. You didn't just have everything like a normal sandbox usually does in like a creative setting. And there was no creative setting when the game initially came out. There was no just feel free to build whatever you want mode. You had to go in and you had to find stuff and you had to unlock everything. And if there was this thing that you needed, you had to like complete half the game for it. And there was no sort of freedom until like the fifth or sixth world. And some people did manage to build absolutely incredible creations in this. There's like massive pumpkins, massive castles, massive houses, people remaking their houses in this game. But it just took so long, and it was a lot of effort, it was a lot of work, and it's supposed to be a kid's game, and the controls were hard and difficult to use, difficult to grasp as well. So I just think it was too complicated for a child's game. We even had these SpongeBob-type characters which would run around with special bricks which you had to kill to collect or hit, which if you ever play Spyro, it's like the egg, the egg runners. I don't know what they're called in Spyro either, but they have an egg and they run away and you got to catch them to get the egg, which is another thing to complete the level. But there is just so much to do in each world that it takes a long time to complete it before you can leave to move on to the next one. And there is so many different guns as well. There's a paint gun, there's a short gun, there's an enlarge gun, there's a copy and paste gun, there's a build gun. And the maps were also quite small, to be fair, and there was just like an edge of the world, and you could fall off the edge of the world and die. That was a thing that I liked to do quite a bit, just chuck myself off the edge and die. Because there was no limit, like, it wasn't like a round planet like you see when flying towards it, it was just a big square, and you could jump out the edge and just fall to your doom. So, it was a very innovative, I don't know the word, innovative game, but it soon got itself a double. They thought it did so well, they decided to make it again, but they slapped a Lego Movie 2 logo on it. And this one, the Lego Movie 2 video game, diverts from the story of the Lego Movie so far that it is basically just Lego Worlds 2. It is not the Lego Movie 2 video game, it is Lego Worlds 2. It just had Lego Movie characters in it. The entire version of this game wasn't like the normal Lego story or linear game that you normally have with Lego villains, Lego Batman, Lego Indiana Jones. No, this was just Lego Worlds. You went around collecting bricks, collecting blocks to use to build in little side quests in different worlds and different planets. Yes, it did have some form of boss battles, and it had talking characters, and you could swap between these characters. You could be Benny, Rex, Danger Vest, Emmett, Wildstyle, and you could also create your own character, and you could go to, Bricksburg, to space, to Rex Danger Vest ship, to the little friendly neighborhood that all the superheroes were in that one scene. But again, you did have to go around building stuff. There was random side quests and random other places, which wasn't in the Lego Movie 2, to fill out a game that was not there. They went so much into this Lego Worlds sort of rabbit hole, and this sort of hole of Lego Worlds being the new craze, the new best thing, that I think they started Lego Movie 2 when they were sort of finishing up making Lego Worlds. Because they did come out at very similar times, very close together. So I do think they sort of just put a load of Lego Worlds into Lego Movie 2 just to fill out the game a little bit more. But again, it has the same art style. It has the same really cheap looking Lego video game like the new Lego Ninjago movie had, the Lego movie had. It's like the Lego Ninjago movie video game had this same sort of art style, which looks a lot worse and a lot cheaper than the Lego Villains video game does, or the Lego Batman video game does. I don't know how to explain it. It looks like they're trying to recreate Lego in Lego. It seems like a really crappy, watered-down version of a normal Lego video game. And I just don't get it. It just looks a lot worse than other Lego video games do. And I can't explain why. I can't explain how the graphics have gone from really good in past Lego video games to this new style of Lego video game for a Lego movie video game. They are using the normal in-game graphics for the cutscenes, which is what they didn't do in Villains and DC and Marvel. And it just makes it look like a really cheap cop-out of a game. Especially when they use the same mechanics, the same sort of plot devices, if you can even call it that, from Lego Worlds in this game. It literally just seems like Lego Worlds 2. And it doesn't seem worth anything. So I am going to give Lego Worlds a good 6 out of 10 because it had some good, innovative, creative mindset behind it. It just wasn't produced well. It was quite a poorly made game, but the idea behind it was good. So that's why I'm going to give it a 6. But the Lego Movie 2 video game seems like such a disappointment, such a big cop-out for what it could have been. You had the Lego Movie 1 video game. It was amazing. It followed the story to a T of the Lego Movie. It had cutscenes from the actual movie in the game. And it was such a good game. I really enjoyed the Lego Movie 2 video game. It was so good. It had really awesome music, really good sort of scenes from the film, which was put in the game, and really good gameplay, really easy to use controls. Again, it's a kid's game, so it's to be expected. But for the Lego Movie 2, they completely scrapped that entire idea. They made their own cutscenes, so they could have their own sort of story which diverted from the main story of the Lego Movie 2. So it seemed like its own thing. But then, literally hidden below the surface is literally just Lego Worlds 2. They took what I think would have been the Lego Worlds 2 game and just sort of redesigned it a little bit so they could market it as the Lego Movie 2 video game. It is the same sort of premise. I can't give it anything higher than a 3. This game is the worst Lego game I have ever played. I really don't like it. I gave up halfway through. I don't think I got that. I think I got a quarter of the way through. So I'm not even reviewing the full game. And I'm going to put that out there. I didn't play it. I didn't finish it. I couldn't. I got so bored. And I dreaded playing it. It's a video game I dreaded picking back up. If you look at it here, we're on a Comet Island. You run around. You have the builders page. The prop guns again. The character select. It's just the menu and the HUD design looked awful. And you had builds which you could sort of pull out and throw about. You had the vehicles in Lego Marvel. So you had some good additions that old Lego Movie video games had, but it just didn't compare to other Lego video games. It was so lackluster and such a nothing game. I would have rather had a Lego Avengers 2 video game. And I think Lego Avengers was a pretty bad video game in general. Literally just being of the first 2 Avengers movies and nothing else. So I would have preferred a Lego Avengers 2 video game instead of this. Because this had DLCs for Rex Dangervest and the bounty hunter for the Lego Friends world. I don't even know what she's called. I don't remember the movie that well. But it was a big disappointment, and there's nothing else I can really say about it. The graphics were bad, the controls were bad for both games, and I'm just really disappointed. The Lego Movie 2 could have been such a really good video game and had such big potential because of how I really enjoyed Lego Movie 2 and how the plot devices were, but the game was just bad. The game was just that bad. I'm sorry, I really didn't enjoy it. And the games are practically identical. You could only just tell them apart because it had Lego Movie 2 characters in it, and that was it. But other than that, hope you enjoyed. See you all next one. Have a nice day, and goodbye.